What is up, guys? Delboy here. So this weekend we have a lightweight unification fight between Vasyl Lomachenko and Jose Pedraza. Both of the WBA and WBO lightweight titles will be on the line. This fight has gone slightly under the radar due to the build-up of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder and also the fallout from that fight. So this fight has been on the back burner, but I'm looking forward to it, to be quite honest. Both guys are coming off big wins. Jose Pedraza, for me, coming off a career best win over Ray Beltran. I felt he boxed really well that night, as good as I've seen him. And Lomachenko is coming off an exciting win over Jorge Linares. So both guys are coming into this fight in good form. And yeah, I think it's a decent fight. It's a unification fight, which is what we all want. So I'm looking forward to it, I really am. I do believe Lomachenko is a big favourite here. I am picking him to win this fight. I believe in terms of skills and talent, he is on a different planet to Jose Pedraza. However, there are a couple of interesting variables in this fight. The first one is the fact that Lomachenko is actually coming off shoulder surgery. How will he look after the surgery? Will it have any impact on this fight? We will see. You know, that's something to look out for. And not only that, Pedraza is a bigger guy than Lomachenko. And I know Lomachenko has fought bigger guys in the past. But I feel that Pedraza brings something different to the table. He's a long and rangy guy. He is 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. So that makes him an inch taller than Lomachenko. But he has a 5.5-inch reach advantage. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in this fight. And the reason I say that, you know, Pedraza, for my money, is a guy who likes to keep straight punches. He likes to keep the range. He's got a really nice quick jab that he varies from body to head. We saw his jab on full display in the Beltran fight, and, you know, behind that jab is a very good long right hand. And also, Pedraza in the Beltran fight was actually countering a lot better than I've seen in the past, you know, especially with the uppercut. I do believe Pedraza is improving as a fighter. I feel he is a lot better suited to lightweight. And yeah, he's a decent fighter. I'm not saying he is the best world champion in the world, but he's a solid, fundamental boxer. Can he give Lomachenko any issues? Potentially, you know, he is a good boxer. He has got long reach, and, you know, if he can keep it on the outside for any period of time, you know, maybe he will have success. But I'm not sure how he is going to keep Lomachenko at bay and at range, because we saw Pedraza struggle against Tank Davis, and, you know, Tank was a bigger puncher. You know, he was really quick and whatnot. But I felt Pedraza really struggled with Tank's athleticism in that fight. You know, Pedraza was a lot more upright, whereas Tank Davis, you know, he had quicker feet. He was changing levels. He was moving his head. He was leading with a lot of power shots, which were always catching Pedraza. The creative offense of Tank Davis gave Pedraza hell. And Pedraza is the type of guy where if he's fighting a pressure fighter who, you know, he comes forward with a high guard, doesn't really move his head, is looking for those looping shots. Those type of pressure fighters are bread and butter for Pedraza. We saw that against Beltran. But a guy who is coming forward with a bit of dynamism, you know, who is changing levels, who's moving his head, who's stepping around him, who's slipping the jab, you know, these are the type of guys who are going to give Pedraza problems. You know, Pedraza is quite upright, and essentially the closer you get to him, the more uncomfortable and more vulnerable he is, in my opinion. So on the outside, he's very competent. In the mid-range, he's okay. You know, he can land shots, he's solid enough, but, you know, nothing special. And on the inside, I don't really rate Pedraza. I feel Lomachenko is going to have success at the mid-range, you know, like he was against Linares as that fight was wearing on, you know, when he was going to the body and whatnot. And I could see a similar pattern in this fight. I could actually see Pedraza starting quite well in the first 2 or 3 rounds. But after that, I feel, you know, Lomachenko, he's going to gauge what Pedraza is doing. He's going to understand the patterns, and, you know, after that point, he is going to go to work. I believe Lomachenko will score a late stoppage in this fight. I don't think he is going to do it as quick as Tank Davis, because Tank Davis, you know, he's a much bigger puncher. I don't think he's a better fighter than Lomachenko, but he's a lot bigger puncher. And, you know, Pedraza, for me, you know, both Lomachenko and Tank are stylistic nightmares for him. But I believe Lomachenko will take longer to stop him. You know, I'm going to go with a Lomachenko late stoppage. Interesting fight. I am looking forward to it. I'm always looking forward to seeing Lomachenko fight, to be quite honest. And, yeah, I'm intrigued to see how Lomachenko looks after his shoulder surgery. And also, this is Lomachenko's first unification fight. So, yeah, looking forward to it. You know, these guys are the only ones really willing to unify at lightweight. Mikey Garcia, for my money, he didn't want to fight Lomachenko, I'll be honest. And you can say that, well, he's fighting Errol Spence and that's much more risky. Yeah, it's more risky in the sense of taking a loss, but you've got to look at it like this. Mikey will get financially rewarded for that fight, and should he lose, or when he loses, he's got the excuse that, you know, it wasn't his weight class, he dared to be great. And the fallout of losing that fight isn't really that bad for Mikey Garcia. He's got that built-in excuse, you know. So losing to Errol Spence, to me, is not really a big deal for Mikey Garcia. If he were to lose to Lomachenko, there's no excuses. You know, Mikey would have been the bigger man and fighting somebody in his own weight class in a fight where many view it as a 50-50 fight. Losing to a Lomachenko would be a lot more... not damaging, because losing to Lomachenko, there's no shame in it, but there's less excuses if he were to lose to a Lomachenko or anybody in his own weight class. So I don't feel the Spence fight is more risky than the Lomachenko fight, to be quite honest, in that sense. The rewards of beating Errol Spence might be bigger, but, you know, the event of losing, to me, doesn't carry the same consequence. So it is what it is, but yeah, credit to Lomachenko and Pedraza for unifying two titles. Share your thoughts below. Peace.